they say there are about 8 billion people in this world. 8 billion, possibly plus or minus. Out of those 8 billion, 7.5 billion plus people are born for themselves, live for themselves, and die for themselves. So they don't do any work apart from their own self-interests. And then there are less than 500 million people who are born for others, live for others, work for others, and die for others. And those 500,000 people cannot be forgotten. And they will never be forgotten. And Mahmood Jamal was one of them, and you are one of them. And so I think we are in a safe place to sit in a socially distanced and in this remembering our friend who we lost because of coronavirus. He had other illnesses and he went to hospital actually for other treatment. I'm very thankful for his sister-in-law and his brother Ahmed, who has been part of Mahmood Jamal's life. And I'm very pleased that today one of the founder member of Third World Solidarity, which was established in 1986, is with Keith Bennett. He is also a very senior journalist and written many books, and we will be inviting him to celebrate next month in June 100th anniversary of Communist Party of China at this place, and we are expecting him to speak about himself. So today we'll leave it. But I'm very pleased for all of you to come this evening. This is one of our first events of this year. Last year we had in August, on 30th of August, we had Dr. Mubashir Hassan event, who died at the age of 91, one of the founder member of People's Party. Then we had an evening with Shafi Naki Jami, who is on his way from Acton, traveling for past 2 hours. I hope at some stage he will arrive here. He has seen the restaurant, but every time he asks me, where is it? So I'm hoping he will be here soon. A BBC journalist, I think you must have heard the name. I'm very pleased for Halim Tareen, who is a very senior political activist from Balochistan, Pakistan, advisor to Balochistan government, and he is still very active in Balochistan. Then Ali is a pilot. He's just done PPL, but he's working on CPL. But he's one of the very old friend from a very young age, a member of Third World Solidarity. Very young age. He's still a very young, but I'm talking about when he was a child. Abid is a journalist. Their father is sitting with us, Captain Najib, who is a ship pilot. I'm thankful to our friend Ishtiaq Umar, who is a journalist, very senior journalist. He runs a TV channel here called Jazba and give us a lot of information, but he also is a businessman. Then Taghi, I'm meeting her first time from Iraq, a player, and then Jasmine Ahmed is an old friend, Ahmed Jamal, Veena, and Shahid Nadeem Sandhu Saab. Kefale is from Ethiopia, but he is one of the pillar of Third World Solidarity.
In some of our meetings, and he has been impressing me because of his appearance, because of his talks, and tries to get to the realities. So that's it.
Mr. Saad Bhatt is one of them. He's a media man. He's just informed a rock of Third World Solidarity.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. As I got said, last time online Zoom, I read the poem of Mahmood Jamal. It says "You and Me," wow, and it was great. It was absolute pleasure and privilege to know this kind of person, spend a time with him, and I'm proud and privileged that I'm here today. Thank you very much.
Jamal knowledge on poetry, on culture, on ghazal, on qawwali, on many other things were extreme. I have not met more knowledgeable person than Mahmood Jamal.
Thank you very much, all of you who are present here to commemorate Mahmood Jamal, who was a very sincere person. He was born to a very renowned family, Parangi Mahal, in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, India. Later on, he was moved to East India, East Pakistan, and then he came to UK and he did lots of work, which is uncountable, including when he worked with various documentaries, TV channels, various TV productions, his poetry. And I'm grateful that Ahmed Jamal, Mrs. Jamal are here, Yasmin, Tagin, Keith Banner, Captain Majid, Hamid, Ali, Tareen Saab, Saj, Yuman Saab, Kefale, they all are here to commemorate the work which he started in terms of his poetry, his own poetry, and introduction of the various poets, whether they are Arabic poet, Turkish poet, Persian poet, Hindi, Urdu poet, and his own work regarding his film. So I'm thankful to Third World Solidarity and all of the friends who came and commemorate. Thank you very much.
I will be asking you at the end. Can I ask Keith Bennett to say a few words about it?
I think we've already heard quite a lot. And what I'd like to say is that to me, he was an extraordinary figure. There's a saying that we stand on the shoulders of giants, and Mahmood Jamal is one of the giants that all of us have the privilege and I would say the responsibility of standing on their shoulders. I think what's significant, one of the things that's significant, one of the things I would like to mention, and that's really connected to what Mushtaq was just saying about Tony Benn's diaries, is that Mahmood Jamal was a person who made contribution in many different areas, and that's one of the things that makes him unique. A lot of people make a contribution in this area or that area, but Mahmood Jamal to me was a real citizen of the world because he could stand and embrace the different cultures. We've heard that we've heard about his empathy with and his contributions to his deep understanding of cultural and artistic traditions from across a wide area of India and Pakistan, or of Iran, of Central Asia, of Turkey, and so on. But what's also very important is that he was one of the real pioneers to start to introduce that into the British society as well. And that's a struggle that we still have to engage in. That's work that's ongoing to actually make a reality of the promise of this country as a multiracial, multicultural society. But here's one of the people who made a huge contribution to that, or of getting things out through Channel 4 and so many different ways, and through his studies at SOAS and his work with artists, intellectuals, and other people from all sorts of different backgrounds, and very favourable and honourable obituary that was published in about Mahmood Jamal in the Guardian newspaper, and you can find it. You can find it online, and it's really, I think, important to have a look at the tribute that was paid to Mahmood Jamal in the Guardian, because it shows that this is a man who not only embodied deep knowledge and culture, but who shared that not only with his own people, but with the whole society. And in so doing, the contributions he made, they were in many ways, and we can't enumerate them all, and many of them I don't know, to be honest, but he contributed to making this country a more welcoming, we know there's still a lot of work to do on that, but he contributed to making this country a more welcoming place for people from the subcontinent, from people from all parts of the world, that their contributions, their culture, their civilization would be valued. And in so doing, he also made a contribution to the natives like me to actually try to educate us and civilize us a bit. And that's also work is ongoing. But he was really a wonderful man, and it's so good that we remember him, and it's very valuable. And I'm just so pleased to be here with all of you and sharing that.
Thank you very much.
from how highly his friends and family speak of him. I would have loved to know him a little bit better. I can't really get out from it. But no, definitely it's very sad news. I would have liked to know him a little bit better. I will read his poems and the obituary, learn a little bit more about him from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Agumon sir.
Thank you, Mr. Lashari, for inviting to say a few words about late Mahmood Jamal. You know, the human psyche says if you want to judge someone, so there's 3 ways to judge. First, you have to, if you could travel with him, or to eat, get a chance to eat with him, or to do a business deal. So you can, with that ways, you can judge the personality and how that person look like. He was. I am interested in literature. He was a literary person, and I, from core of my heart, I feel he was like my teacher. From a spiritual side, I'm saying he was a nice person, and I really miss him. And it's hard to believe that he is not with us anymore. God bless him, and we all should pray to grant Allah, Almighty Allah grant him. I will like in Jannah. Ameen. Thank you.
And I did enjoy listening to him. And apart from that, now today I met his brother and his sister-in-law, very nice people from Karachi. And it was a pleasure listening to his poetry.
Can I request either Mina or Mahmood, so how you want to speak, or both of you want to speak? Go ahead. Ahmed Jamal. He himself is a writer, producer. He has done a lot of work with Mahmood Jamal, including film Rahim, documentaries for BBC, Panorama, and others. And we, Ahmed Jamal and myself, have promised ourselves that we will continue Mahmood Jamal work. In what shape and how, that will depend on our work.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. And I am overwhelmed by your question. To my brother, for you all to remember him, I'm trying to forget him, because it was a shock to us when it happened, and I was very close to him. From when I came to London in '73, he was already here, so we spent a lot of time together. Mahmood came to study accountancy, and read the obituary, then he moved on. He became very radicalized with international politics, left-wing politics, and he sort of became very anti-establishment. And then came into SOAS. He was still, but by that time he started teaching in accountancy, and then I had come and I studied in the film school, so I was setting up something called it was called Retake Film and Video Collective. It was like a workshop to promote the work of Asians and black people in this country, to try and encourage more people from a diverse background to come into the film and television industry. And so we helped a lot of people train, and Mahmood joined me, and since then he got into filmmaking. And then a lot of people have said things about him, and all that is very true. So I don't want to say any more, because you all have said so much and it's quite overwhelming. I will only say one thing, कि वीरान है मैं कदा खामोश उदास है वीरान है मैं कदा खामोश उदास है तुम क्या गए के रूठ गए बहुत अच्छे बस Somebody can translate in English maybe quickly? The
Empty.
tavern is empty and the cups are almost that's it. You know, the hands, yeah. Why you left and the spring went away with you? Yeah, something like that.
No, actually, it says we are missing. It means I will not be translating into words, but I'll say the main thing. He said the bars are empty now, the glasses are empty since you have left. Lord. So Shafina ki Jani Saab, please say a few words about Mahmood Jamal. We are
in the company of a great writer, in the company of a great producer, and in a great company of who would be recited by many in his poetry. It makes me a little bit nervous, although I never get failed for words, but this time I found fail for words. My mama told me always keep two things in your pocket, pen and a handkerchief. Trust me, this habit never gone away. Never gone away. Never gone away. This is hanky and this is pen. And I noted one name because I was lost. I was lost when I was coming here. So I know being a pensioner, you invite people and you organize these things, but you don't have a pocket of Pharaoh or the tomb of Pharaoh that you can dig out the gold and you can sell it. So I have my contribution. I would not disappoint you. I would say thank you very much.
Thank you. Very good.